Hi Gemini, welcome to Tarot-blee Accurate. This is your love reading for May 6th through June 6th. So this will cover singles and couples. We're going to start with singles today. If you are new to this channel, thanks so much for showing up. I hope you come back. And if you're coming back for second, third, 100th time, thanks so much for coming back. I really appreciate all your support. You're the reason why we do these. So I'll just go ahead and get started. So Gemini singles. Now this could be your sun, moon, or rising sign. And, you know, when you're watching for your love stuff, you probably want to watch for your moon sign just because that ties closest to your heart, to your emotions, to your deep feelings. So I'll just say that. And then also, because this is for a whole month, sometimes things that you'll hear, I mean, it's a general reading, so some things might not resonate anyway. But you know, maybe when you watch this, if it first comes out, you'll say, gosh, that makes no sense. And then a week or two from now, or towards the end of the month, you come back and you watch it again and you're like, oh my God. So keep that in mind with love readings, or whenever there's stress in my life, I'll usually go back and watch the same readings again and again, and then it starts to make sense and I can make better choices just based on what I know is happening or what the outcome of that will be. So, but use it however you want. You know, it's your free reading. So we'll just go ahead and get started. There were a few things that just jumped all out of the deck at once, but I don't feel like that's the whole story yet. To be honest, I haven't even looked at them. I just set them in a pile. So we're going to start with the World. So the World card is kind of a cool card to have for a single Gemini. Just that meaning that pretty much anything in the world that you want, you can have, right? It's a little like the Magician card in this context. You see how she's wearing purple, so connecting to your higher self, figuring out what you want, and then all these stars are like achieving your wishes, your dreams. But you can be a little bit moody with this energy just because you see the moon in the background. But with all of this blue here, if you get clear on what it is that you want, you can have the world. There's no reason why you can't. Okay, so that's kind of cool for single Geminis. If you're looking for someone, if you're looking to offer them the world or have them offer you the world. Okay, but this is the little stack that popped out. So we'll just go through them one by one. I don't even know what's in here. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Ten of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. So, I feel like the Knight of Cups is not you. I think this is somebody else. So I don't think that anyone is going to come running towards you, offering you love, okay? I don't think that they're going to be like, look, you're what I really want. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to be romantic and all of that stuff. I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think that if you want to have a couple, like if you want to find a mate, in which you will achieve your happy ever after with sunshine and rainbows and, you know, good conversation and, you know, pets and the whole 9 yards. You can have that, but you have to be the person who goes after them, who is assertive. This person isn't going to just show up on your doorstep. They're not just going to come and say, hey, do you want to be my forever partner? And you're like, yeah. You have to go find them. That's the issue. Some of you maybe haven't been going out very much. You might have kind of just been staying at home, maybe because of things relating to work. You may be kind of stuck in a rut at your work. Maybe you're tired because of work. Maybe you're kind of hating your job right now, but you don't really feel like looking for a new one. So something related to work, stability, home life, all of that is preventing you sort of from going out and finding that person. So you're just like, well, if it's meant to be, they'll come to me, but it doesn't work that way this month. If this month between May 6th and June 6th, you want this, I think you can find it. I think you can achieve it, but you have to be assertive. You have to be the one who goes out there. Now, this right here with the Seven of Swords in reverse, I think maybe you have not been going out and looking because you're kind of still like, gosh, you know, I've been hurt in the past. People have like taken my heart and then they broke it. And I just don't want to deal with that. So like if the right person comes along, great. But if not, right? I'm not interested in getting hurt. I'm not interested in like pursuing someone and then just being hurt after. But that's not a worry right now. This time, this month is nothing you should be worried about. So I wonder if any of you even know who it is that can offer you this Ten of Cups card. All the birds and the bees. There's actual bees on here. But they're, fluffy bumblebees. They're not the kind that sting you. So that's real nice. The High Priestess in reverse. And what else do we have? The Devil in reverse. So some of you may have had your eye on someone who's a little bit intuitive, maybe they're psychic. You might have had your eye on someone who might be very religious, prays a lot, something like that. But that's not your person, okay? You might have thought that they were, but they're not. That's not the person to go after. I think that you know that you don't need to be tied to them like you want to be, but you know that you don't need to be. And so that's maybe something you should just leave behind. Like if you're casually dating this person, but they've kind of been like, I like you. I want to have sex with you for now, but I don't want to be with you forever. Then maybe you should just let that go. I mean, you can stay there. That's fine, but that's not this person. So if this is what you want, then you might want to stop that. But if this is not something you're even that interested in or want right now anyway, I mean, this is fine. I don't think anything's bad's going to happen because they're very honest and clear with you about how they feel, about what they want. They're not going to hurt you. If anyone's going to hurt you, it's going to be you in this situation. But it's just like a reminder that like this is safe. This is okay. But it's not this. So if you want this, just know that this is not that person, okay? The person that you maybe have like a lot of attraction to, but you just know they're not your forever, okay? So how could you recognize, though, this forever person that you should chase after? How can you recognize who they are? Because maybe you already know them. Maybe you've yet to meet them. Let's find out. Page of Wands. So I think that this is a person who is going to approach you and start a conversation. And this could be related to anything that's like exciting or wild, but they're not quite going to ask you out. If you remember with that Cups card, I think that they're coming to you hoping that you ask them out. So just follow that lead, okay? That's interesting. The Sun in reverse popped out. They may be coming to you as a shoulder to cry on as well. They might be like, hey, I'm really sad. All this stuff is going on in my life, and confide in you. And then you can pat their shoulder, put their head on your shoulder and say, okay, now you want to F? Just kidding. Don't do it like that. Be like a little more subtle. Okay, but for Geminis who are coupled, what do we have for you May 6th through June 6th? And this is, like I said, your sun, moon, or rising sign. Whoa. Seven of Pentacles. What else do you have here? The Hermit. The Six of Pentacles. The Two of Swords. And the Death card in reverse. So within your relationship, not a lot going on in regards to love and romance. This is more practical day-to-day stuff. So within your relationship, it's like somehow you guys are like, yeah, finally, these things are going to pay off that we've invested in, whether that be emotional investment, financial investment, whether you've been like working really hard, creating a new business, whatever. You're like, yes, it's finally gonna start happening. And then you're like, just kidding. And you're kind of just like growing old, waiting and 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 waiting. When you thought you finally got to see like the fruits of your labor, you're like, just kidding, we're still waiting. So you might be a little bit cautious with how you're spending. You might be a little bit cautious on how much, on your generosity, like how much you're giving out. So if this is not like a financial thing, okay, if this is in terms of, you know, like I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for my partner to show me this act of love or something like that, I don't have it, therefore I'm not going to give it to them. That's maybe something that you're struggling with too. This can come in a lot of different contexts because this is a general reading for like, you know, thousands of Geminis. But that being said, within your coupled relationship, you're coming to a point, like after all of this waiting, putting in all this hard work, being cautious about how much do I give out of myself, of my resources, as a couple, of our resources, then you're like, okay, so there's choice A, there's choice B. I have two choices, but I don't want to make one. I'm content just sitting here, like not choosing. I don't want to choose. And the reason why I don't want to choose is because I don't want things to change. I want things just to go with the flow. I want things to just work out. I'm freaking sick of sitting here and waiting, but like I'm not really willing to change anything. I can speed this along by making a choice, by saying, nope, this is what we're doing. It hasn't paid off yet. We're stopping this, or we're going to put this into this to make this go faster. You're not doing that. You're just like, nope, nope, nope. So that's what's going on for couples. I wonder what with the choices here, you know, with the Two of Swords card, if you're kind of sitting there and you're like, gosh, I don't know what to do. And it seems to me that you're pretty content just like sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting like you have been and kind of hoping that things work themselves out. But if you're not content with that, if you are not a patient person like I'm not, this is actually my favorite way to do tarot, is to help you make choices. So I'm going to tell you right now, decide what is choice number 1 and option number 2. Option 1, option 2. Get those clear in your mind, and then we will pros and cons these out for you, okay? So option number 1 already jumped right out of the deck. Option number 2. Okay, so what do you think about option number 1? What will your partner think about option number 1 and 2? How will you each feel about it? And then the pros and the cons. Okay, so here we go. Option number 1. What are your thoughts on it? Well, your thoughts are, hey, this is good. You know, this puts me in control. I have a little more stability. I understand what's going on. This seems right to me. What do they think about it? They consider it to be a loss. So you're looking at them and they're like, oh man, this sucks. And so you kind of don't agree on it, but you're like, no, this is right. This is right. So how do you feel about it? Well, you're like, you know what? I feel like this is the right thing to do, because not only do I think that it's smarter, not only does it put us more in control of our own destiny, like taking charge of things. For a lot of you, it'll be increasing wealth. So in your heart, you're like, look, whatever it is, you think that this isn't going to work out when you're talking to your partner. You're like, you think this isn't going to work out. And then you're like, but the way that we've done it in the past, clearly that didn't work out. That didn't make us happy. So you just need to grow up and try something different, try something new. And the way that they feel about it after the fact, like before the fact, they're like, no, this is going to suck. Wah. But then after the fact, they're like, oh, you know what? Like, that wasn't a bad idea. That was actually really smart. I was just afraid. So you're right. So the pros of option, so this is all with option number 1, okay? Whatever you put in your mind was option 1. The pros of option 1, I wonder why that ended up to be a pro. Okay, so the pros of option 1 is, you know what, like, not everybody's going to be happy no matter what, but you did what was best for everybody. And you know what, your partner didn't like it initially. They were like, this doesn't seem right. I don't know if your partner is that whiny. It's just like, you know that you're right. And in the end, they'll see that too. But in the meantime, like getting there is going to be an argument. That's all I'm saying. And then the cons of that one, where'd that go? Where is that bad boy? Here it is. Okay. And then the cons of that, there's not really a con, because initially it's like you're kind of worried, like, oh, I'm kind of being a B, you know, like I'm kind of, or a D if you're a guy, like I'm kind of asserting myself and I'm saying, nope, this is how it goes. I'm taking the reins of this because I'm tired of waiting. And I don't care if you think it's wrong, because I know that it's right, and you do it, and then afterwards they're thankful. So there's not really a con to it. It's just like a pain in the butt until everything's resolved. Okay, but then for option number 2, you think that this is going to be something that brings in luxury, comfort into your life. They think that, you know, this is something I can get excited about. This is something like I can just run off and do and like put myself into, and that's great. But the thing is that you're seeing it 2 different ways, okay? So you might run into conflict that way because you're both framing it in a different way with option number 2. Now, the way that you feel about it is that you're not going to be able to really work as a team to achieve the same end goal. The way that they think about it is you're not really giving into that situation. They're like, I'm putting in all the work, and you're like, yeah, because we can't work it as a team. You're more focused on just like the lux of it all, like being able to relax and be in luxury and have all the things that you want, and they're more focused on like the work part of it all. You're more focused on like enjoying it. So the pros of this one is that it leads to even more options, but we kind of know that that's not really a pro because you're having a hard time making a decision in the first place. The cons of this is that it does require a lot of work. It's a new start. It's a new path. It leads to like a totally new course, but it is a lot of work, and you feel like it might be difficult to work as a team, and they feel like you're not contributing. So personally, I might go with option number 1, but it's up to you. Neither one really looks bad. I think you're going to be okay no matter what you choose, and maybe that's why you're sitting there with your eyes covered like, I don't feel like making a choice. So I don't know what this pertains to particularly in your coupled life. It can resonate different for every couple, but I hope that's helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again next week for your generals. Bye. For your monthlies.